We got Ryan in the house. Let's go.
Yes, I
So
love
some
it.
podcasts are different, and I mean, maybe this should actually be in the podcast.
Let's
This would
go.
be fun.
Let's
Am I
restart it.
talking?
Yeah,
Can I
we're
talk?
starting.
Can
Go
I?
ahead.
Can
This
I
is
like?
Ryan Ochoa here at Cali's Strong and the Write It Down podcast with FK&G Bourbon and Vodka. Go ahead, take it away. Let's go. I didn't mean to cut you off. You were on a roll, so I just wanted to.
No,
right
well, you talk to the camera. So, no, I was just wondering if I could like play to the camera too. You know?
Yeah, talk to them. What do you want to say?
Hello. I'm just making sure at certain spots,
Yeah.
certain times I have to,
Engage.
Yes.
Yes. So Ryan, I'm really pumped to have you on. Cali Strong means a lot to you. Cali Strong.
Just a little bit.
Yep. Cali Strong
Just a
is
little
actually
bit.
what brought us here together. So
Yes.
I'm super pumped to have you share your story. I'd be remiss not to go into your acting career. And I did watch iCarly as a kid.
Right.
So this is like super cool for me because I like feel like I know you, but I know your character. So
Yeah,
it's fine. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what it was like growing up on set with school, with friends, like your identity, being young, growing up in the spotlight.
Well, that's a
heavy
very
hitter.
loaded
Yeah,
question.
that's
I
why
love
I have
it.
a drink for you.
Yeah, exactly. Let me take a sip before we get just kidding. No, honest. I've been. I always say I've been very fortunate to be able to do what I love since I was a little boy. It's truly all I know is being in front of the camera, and now behind the camera as well. But
Yeah.
we'll probably get into that
Yeah.
later. I've been acting since I consider 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I actually lived here in San Diego. I was born and raised here, and I started technically like when I was 5 or 6 doing like little local stuff out here.
Yeah.
But we really consider when I actually started like 7 or 8 is when I booked my first commercial in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And so I've been doing it since I was a 7, 8-year-old little boy.
Wow.
And I love it. And I always tell people, I mean, before we actually go into the other stuff is as long as something continues to it is fun and continues to be more fun, you're doing what you love, and I say stick to it. And for me, it just like the journey just constantly gets better by the day.
Yeah.
And so I don't know anything else. Like I don't want to be doing anything else. I love it. And now kind of referencing back is I've been able just to meet so many incredible people over the years on my journey, like Cali Strong.
Yeah.
And that's why I just continued. I just have so much passion for and energy with everything that I set my mind to. And I think ultimately that's why those characters that I played back in the day have some sort of impact in people's lives still to this day, which is why I was able to go back and I did so happy I could talk about it now.
Yes.
I did the iCarly revival last year, and I was a recurring character as Chuck, as you know,
Yeah.
and a lot of people loved him. But the truth is I was a 12-year-old boy, and when I walked on a set, I was just happy to be there, and I was just happy to play the character, even though I was the bad guy and this little, punk kid. I just embraced the opportunity, and I got to meet so many awesome people that I'm still friends with to this day, and I'm happy. I'm really enjoying the journey, and I'm looking forward to what's next. So.
Yeah, and a lot of doors have opened for you. So why don't you tell us a little bit with iCarly, who were some of the key people you enjoyed working with, whether they were producers or other actors? Who are some of those people in that season of your life that stand out to you?
Definitely Jerry Trainer right off the bat. He was a big part of my character and becoming who he is, and just being some sort of memorable character.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the chemistry that him and I built together, being that he was obviously at the time the adult, because all of us were Miranda, Jeanette, Nathan, we were all in school, so he was the adult. And I would say but I really built a relationship with all of them. Miranda, Jeanette and I actually did school together, so her and I, we have some YouTube videos out that people could watch of us doing
that. Yeah, what do you are you guys just going into an RV and like hammering out math for a couple hours and then going back on set? What is that speed of life?
I'd have to break it down for you. I've had different school rooms over the years. Some were motorhomes, some were very fancy and flashy dressing rooms. I remember in Monterrey, Mexico, I was in a motorhome that we had. It was just like the Star Wagons. It was like a Star Wagon. It was me, all of the cast. Selena Gomez was there in Monterrey, Mexico, and so it just really depends. But no matter what, you have to put in your school hours. And
Really?
Oh yeah.
It's like a criteria for child actors.
So when you're on set, yes, this is something that like a lot of people don't really hear.
No, yeah.
And
I'm very curious about this.
So no matter what, you have to do your mandatory 3 hours per day. So crazy talking
3
about
hours.
school.
I know.
It's been so long.
Yeah, I don't know anything
But
anymore.
my sis. It's cool actually talking about it because my sister just started this because she's in the industry now and
Right.
and doing jobs and so I've been telling her like over the past few years, this is what I had to do. This is what Raymond had to do. And so anyway, we have to do 3 hours per day. And then you also like can bank hours. So
Okay.
there's some days, like I remember, I don't know if you watched the show Pair of Kings that I was on,
No.
but it was on Disney XD.
Yeah.
But it was really crucial was banking hours on that because I was a series regular. I was in every single episode produced of the show. Some episodes I was featured more than the others. So when there was one episode where maybe I was only in 3 or 4 scenes rather than 10 or 11, on my time when I wasn't on set, I was like banking and getting time.
Like rollover minutes.
Rollover minutes, exactly. But no matter what, you had to do 1 hour per day.
Okay.
No matter what, you
And
had
then
to do
clock in.
it. Doesn't matter. You had
Yeah.
to do 1 hour, but there were some days where you can't get 3 hours in, so you use your rollover minutes. I've never heard that one before, but yeah, you use your
AT&T,
your
yeah.
banking
Yeah.
hours, and so that's crazy talking about it because it's been so long since haven't been in school.
Like, well, I
but
can only imagine though, because like all the reference I have is just like day in day out school, right? I have to like wake up, like you're worried you're gonna be late, then you get to school, then you're there for 7-8 hours, and you go do soccer. So like I can't imagine like being in a speed of life since you were a little kid that this is all you know. This is
all
your
I know.
culture. This is your background. That
Yeah.
like you show up and you like learn all these subjects. You have to, clock in, like you're saying, and then also be able to show up on camera and like be, I don't want to say task, but that's for lack of better words, like task to perform.
Yeah.
So then you have to be like lights, camera, action.
and
know?
and hearing you talk about, I admit I don't think I've ever really like said the schedule, but I was just talking about this to somebody, I think to one of my like best friends recently, but my life when I was, especially I always refer to Pair of Kings because I like when I was on iCarly, I was only like a week to week, and
Yeah.
so I think one time I did back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like felt like I was a regular.
Right.
Regular is one that's just there in every episode, but on Pair of Kings, this was literally I woke up, went to set. I would do 2 hours of school in the morning. Then I would go to set, and I say in the morning I'd go to school on set, 2 hours. Then I'd go on to the set, and now you have to transition from doing pre-calculus
Right.
to now I'm playing.
You memorize your lines.
I'm playing
Yeah.
Cousin Lanny.
Yeah.
This
That's wild.
disgruntled cousin that has a bunch of dialogues, a bunch of lines, and then okay, Ryan, you're up. Then guess what? Walking right back to my schoolroom, back to, Eva, Laura, those are my 2 teachers at the time. Rhoda, I had 3 teachers. And I'd go back to them. Okay, now we're transitioning back to pre-calculus again, and a problem that I was stuck in. And I've never actually said it out loud, but thinking about it, that was my life for 4 years.
It's a full-time job being an actor, like what you were doing, whether you were, on regular basis, on camera, or if you were just having like little stints here and there. Like that is a full-time job of having to manage that. Has there ever been a role that you wanted that you didn't get?
Oh yeah, Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, wow, see how fast I answered that one?
You're like,
There's been,
let me tell you.
literally last night, I kid you not.
Yeah.
Last night I was on a exclusive live on Instagram with my subs, and we were talking about there was 2 different Ryanators that were on there. That's my, I don't use the F word, fans. I don't use that. My Ryanators. I was talking to them, and 2 of them talked about how one just didn't get a job that she had just put an application in. And I was like, look, on to the next one. And my dad was sitting across from me. I was like, DJ, how many times have that's my dad's name, by the way, DJ Ziggy Bass.
Okay.
That's his alter ego.
I love it.
Probably had to fill you in just in case
I'm
you're like, Dad, DJ? I don't get it.
Start calling my dad DJ.
But so I call him
Yeah.
DJ now. I was like, DJ, how many times have I not gotten a job? And we kind of like just threw out numbers, and I wish my mom has the exact number somewhere, but thousands, and I was telling them that, yeah, you continue to just work at it, and it doesn't matter like how many no's you get. I was this teenager, and going back to your question, it was like, yeah, like I was telling them, like, it doesn't matter how many no's you get, you just continue have to work at it and keep going and moving forward,
Yeah. I feel like that's like the piece in any job, but specifically when you're on camera or when you're connecting in a different sphere, like the rejection narrative, I feel like could be pretty like extension, like literally, like I can only imagine that you're at this place where you're, and again, maybe not as much, and I don't want to speak for you, but you've already had like a good track record, you've gotten roles, and so I feel like that probably builds your confidence like in the field. But no matter what, when somebody says no, or I found somebody else, like whether it's because they just fit the role better, like sometimes it's a hard thing to like rationalize, well, why wouldn't they want to pick me? And so I think it's cool that you're just like, hey, like that sometimes just it is what it is, and you have to just keep applying, you have to keep grinding. I think anyone, whether they're an actor or in school or
I was just about to say that and that's what I was kind of talking about last night to them, is it doesn't really matter like what field you're in, there's rejection everywhere,
right? And
it's just a matter of how you really rise back up from it. And there's been so many times, going back to Spider-Man, that was the role that is.
Are we
probably
talking like recent, like Tom Holland?
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So did you?
I was lucky enough to at least get the audition, but it was one that I don't think I've ever done so much backstory, research, read comic books. I really like dove into the mentals of who Peter Parker was, and I felt like I was really prepared and really passionate. My uncle, who's not with us anymore, he was very. He was a comic geek, and I was on many phone calls with him, finding out, what makes Peter Parker who he was. But anyway, the point is that one hurt a lot. And after that, I actually fell into like a year slump of not working.
Wow.
And that really, that gets you, you know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, you didn't get one that you really wanted, and then now you're not getting little ones that you think you're probably right for.
Right.
And but I tell everybody this. And I think this goes with any job, is it only takes that one yes that really just kicks you back into gear,
Yeah.
And I'd feel like I'm back in that situation right now, especially, not working with the strike that we all were just on is, and all my friends, we're all having the same conversations, and it's been almost 4 months of not being on set, and it's tough. It's tough when you have other friends that are, you see them working, doing their jobs, or opening businesses, and it's for an actor, it's very hard.
Yeah, I can imagine. And then there's social media, and no matter what industry you're in, you can go online and compare yourself, and you have no idea what behind the scenes is for them. So for those of us listening and watching right now, tell us, if you may, a little bit about the strike, and kind of like the narrative around that, and kind of a synopsis of that.
In
the most we read this just on E! News, and it's just info for them.
Again, I don't want to make it like a negative thing, but
it was a thing. It happened.
It was a thing. I'll just keep it very broad. How about this?
Yeah.
I think that's the right way.
I don't think
that is the right way.
So what's going on.
A few months ago, the writers, the WGA, went on strike. They just wanted a new deal. They felt like they were getting paid, unfairly, which, the writers are the key to our industry. You know what I mean? If there's no scripts, or there's no nothing. There's no movies.
Brilliant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they went on strike, and then SAG-AFTRA ended up kind of piggybacking off it, and we went on strike. WGA came to a tentative deal, and then we basically have continued to be on strike, SAG-AFTRA, and it was, I think, 118 days as of technically 12:01 a.m. This morning. We finally came to a new deal. So this is my first podcast being
I'm honored
being an actor that is not on strike anymore.
Yeah, congrats.
And I'm now to make it more of a positive in the light of this, is what I'm very excited about is there's a lot of projects that I've been working on secretly.
Ooh.
And I say secretly as in like on the producing side, on the producing
Okay.
side, that it's just nice to be able to not have to, worry about like, saying the wrong thing because, you stand behind your union no matter what. They look out for us. And yeah, I'm just very excited that not only, and I was just with one of my really good friends who's a director, and he was telling me all about all the crew members and a lot. I mean, I'm so close with a lot of the crew that I've worked with, and it's put them out of jobs. So now everyone's just happy. Everyone's, back on, and we can start getting.
We can relax, move forward.
Exactly, and it's going to probably feel a little, weird. You know what I mean? For a lot of people, because like getting back to the,
Yeah, well, there was tension for a decent
Yeah.
amount of time. So I think in anything, once that tension's alleviated, you have to kind of find your new normal in a sense.
Yes.
That's with anything, like it can be through friendships. Like you're just learning to navigate different waters now. So I think it's cool that it's been alleviated, but now it's like the best is yet to come.
It's a 3-year deal too, in case you're interested. That just crossed my mind.
That's
So yeah,
wild.
so
Okay.
we're making movies and shows for 3 years at
and who
least.
knows what's
Let's
gonna
do
happen in
this.
3 years,
Let's do
but
this.
That's okay. We're excited for these
Exactly.
3 years, and hopefully they're the best ahead. We're going to take a quick break to discuss this episode's sponsor. Resist Spirits is a proud supporter and friend of the Write It Down podcast. With brands like FKNG, Bourbon and Vodka, Resist Spirits is a spirits company that creates lifestyle brands for consumers who want to level up and achieve their goals. FKNG is a bold and adventurous brand, not only in its appearance, but also in its taste. FKNG Bourbon and Vodka are distilled from the highest quality ingredients and processed both in the USA and Mexico with the finest ingredients. You can go to their website, resistspirits.com, to order your bottles today. Now, back to the show. Let's segue into really quick your movie that was filmed here.
Do you know about it?
Tell us about it.
Okay. Wow, feels like I've been like a lion in a cage, been waiting to unleash
the beast.
There's so much to talk about. The movie's called Second Chances. I believe it or not, the idea didn't stem in here, but I'd say then I was at an event here at Cali Strong when the co-writer Steve and I basically kind of said we wanted to do something the night we were in here. And then this was about 2 years ago.
Yep.
And then we wrote the script. I pitched it to my buddy Dave Angus, who is one of the top first assistant directors in Hollywood. I wanted him to direct the film. Dave has directed some stuff in the past, but I knew that this was going to be like all about family, and I knew it only made sense for Dave to direct this. But he's very busy. Let's keep that in mind. He had just got off Haunted Mansion, and he was going in to film a new Star Wars series for Disney+. Jon Favreau and John Watts had called him and said, "You're doing this show." While I'm pitching him a script to direct a movie, how is this going to happen? And long story short, he came on and he said, look, he said yes. And we ended up, which down the road, this will probably be a really cool talking point, but we ended up filming the movie exclusively on the weekends.
Wow.
For 2.5 months. So a cool little fun fact, before the movie's out is that we filmed this entire film only on the weekends. And gosh, it's crazy just the journey that I've been on. I wish people could just be in my head and just think about how much work I've done. It's been an enormous amount of work, overwhelmingly, responsibilities for my entire family. But it's my baby. I will say that. And anyway, people are probably like, what's it about?
Yeah.
The movie follows. This is the only thing people know. We're
Okay.
keeping it very secretive until the distributor actually releases, anything they want. But the movie follows my character, who is a former teen child star, and he ends up getting forced to go to a wake with his little sister, Disney, and his now megastar ex-girlfriend, Kayla. And then trouble ensues along the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I'm excited, too, that Cali Strong has a part to play in it as well. Tell us a little bit about your story with Cali Strong and why Cali Strong means so much to you.
Well, to start off, right off the bat, I want to do everything that I, can involve them, whether it's my career or their career. I just want us to be,
elevate together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's why I literally wear it. I wear their shoes. I wear their clothes. I mean, at least when I can,
Yeah.
And I would say the bigger picture is, like I said earlier, I want people to say that Ryan is just a good person. When you meet people, and Jim and Jen, when I met them, I just knew, like, when you connect with somebody, immediately, that's someone that you just want to surround yourself with.
Right.
And now, yeah, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's an event, just to go see them and, feel Jim's energy and Jen's energy,
right,
and see Jen recording me, like, that's just, you want to surround yourself with people like that. And when you put yourself in environments and in just positive situations, I feel like only good things can come of it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, is yes, like, I met them at the Del Mar Fair in 2015. And then from then, the next year, we ended up filming a music video at their booth at the fair. And we just continued to grow with them. We ended up, myself, my brothers, and my dad, we ended up helping them build out their very first flagship store, and just continue to see them grow. And now
yes,
in this amazing structure.
So beautiful.
And then just everything that they do, they're constantly putting themselves in strategic, places, when it's, obviously they have stores in the military, on the military bases, and the events that they do, they're helping, charities, and they're giving back to the military. Like, for me, as I'm growing up in my field, which is different from them,
right,
I can gain inspiration from seeing that, okay, as you continue to get any sort of success, follow these people, because they're doing things the right way, and that could help you. And when I get to some sort of, any sort of, accomplish a goal or any sort of success, I'm like, okay, look, you have to, what are you doing with it? You know what I mean? Which is why, like, last night I was up till 1:00 in the morning on an Instagram subs live, just, pouring my heart out and sharing my, heart with people, and just helping people that, may be going through a hard time. And I ended up reading a message this morning when I announced something last night on my live, and about I'm doing this really extravagant thing next month for December with, a lot of my Ryanators. And this girl messaged me this morning, and I literally came to me. She's like, when you told me that, you don't understand how hard the holidays are for me. She's like, but this is really going to help. She's like, she lost someone very close to her on New Year's Eve. And it's like, look, if there's any sort of happiness or joy that, I can bring to somebody, that is really what this is all about to me. That's why I do these interviews. That's why I, love walking on set with a smile on my face. That's why, I'm writing music, and why I'm writing scripts. Like, I feel like the more I do there, the more, lives I can touch.
Yeah. And what's fueling you isn't yourself and your gain, it's others. And I think that's a huge...
I forgot that I actually get something from it sometimes.
Yeah, but that's the way it should be. It should feel like, wow, I'm creating a space for other people to feel elevated and to feel loved and to feel confident. And that's what you're doing, whether it's with music or, your movies or whatever it is. And the same with Callie Strong, with Jim and Jen. It's like, if you can bring joy to other people and you can, kind of electrify a room, you're going to receive too, but you're not the forefront of receiving. And I think that is like such a good heart to have with any passion project or anything that you're setting forth into. And so I love that transcends everything that who you are. And I feel like I could talk to you for days, but I know we have places to be, but I want to ask. Go ahead.
There's something I want to say real quick. I know we have to. Sorry.
No.
Once you get me going, I'm going now. I would the last thing, and this is something I said last night too, on this exclusive live. A lot happened on this live, by the way. But
Instagram live.
I'd say a big thing is my brothers and my sister and my parents. A lot of the stuff that I do and a lot of that passion that I get is really to help them, because I feel. Oh, I know what I was saying about the live too. Is I told them is. They're like, wow, you do so much for us. And I said, look, ultimately, I'm just a little piece of the puzzle. I'm glad that you guys think that I'm a very pivotal part of the puzzle. But for me, I just really want to help out my brothers and my sister. And like my older brother, he's not here with us today because he's working on something really, really big for us right now. And it's the things that you don't always see that I feel like I get to bring to light when I do interviews like this. And it's mainly because my brothers, I always say they're the talented ones. I'm just the talker, you know?
Hey, but you have a role. We all have a role.
And yeah, like and my sister, like I feel like what we're all creating is really she's the true star. She's the one that's really going to carry this, you know, for us after.
How old's your sister?
She is, gosh, about to be 12 on Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
11,
so big
11.
things ahead for her, and she's got the support of her family.
She's the star of the film, Second Chances. She plays my sister in the movie.
I love that.
I
love that everything you do is a family and friend affair, and I think it's super neat. I'm glad that we got to connect through Kelly Strong and having you on the Write It Down podcast. I love to ask a few rapid fire questions.
Great.
And
yes. Okay. Now I'm nervous. I wasn't nervous
I
before,
know.
but now I'm
These
nervous.
are super easy.
Okay.
These make you think. Okay. Or tell us who you really are.
Okay.
So you're about to eat cereal in the morning. Do you pour your milk first or your cereal first?
I just got asked this question. It's cereal.
Did you really?
Literally like 2 days ago. I kid you not. It was really.
Was this on the Instagram Live?
No, this was not on the Instagram.
Like everything, like this was on the Instagram Live.
This was somewhere. I'm not
you
just.
do cereal
I'm not
first though.
cereal absolutely first.
So you're not crazy.
Oh wait, I know what it was. It was in Arizona. It was I was talking with the two other acts that we brought on to the show with us. We were all talking about
because
this.
it's a thing. It's a real thing that needs to be discussed because apparently there are people out there that pour the milk first.
They both did.
What?
Yes. No, we're at least what I know, my brothers and I, we're definitely cereal first.
Cereal first.
The reason why I like the cereal, I don't like the crunch. I like it to kind of get soggy.
Right. So delicious. Okay, this one's easier. Surf or skate?
Neither.
Really? I can't either.
I'm a neither.
I don't even know why I asked
if I had
questions.
to choose, it's skate, but I'm only good at ripstick.
Okay.
There's my answer.
Well, that's actually kind of hard.
I've surfed one time in my life, and it was terrifying for me, and I cannot ride a skateboard.
Yeah, no, I need to hold people's shoulders.
I did another movie that Callie Strong is a part of too, and I couldn't skate. They wanted me to skate, but I was like, hey, I can ripstick. Yeah. That's just the one wheels on single thing. So, yeah, there's my answer.
That's better than I can do. Should Christmas start before Thanksgiving?
Ooh, that's a tough one. No.
Like after Halloween, people are like, oh my gosh, it's Christmas.
Yeah,
but
like
they skip
on
over.
October 29th, we were in Arizona, and I was seeing Christmas stuff already before Halloween. It was really odd.
That's a lot. But there are people that do that, and like power to you. But I think we shouldn't skip over holidays.
You're saying Christmas before Thanksgiving?
Meaning like right when November 1st, people are putting Christmas decorations, and I feel like it should happen the day after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Because you should really
I actually
relish.
don't mind. Like I like maybe the week before. Here's why.
Okay.
I like going to Thanksgiving
with
dinners
Christmas.
and seeing a Christmas tree.
I could agree with that.
It feels right to me now, but maybe it's just because all of my dad's side of the family, we've always like just done that.
But
every
like,
time
you're not,
we go,
like,
I
just
see.
skipping like holidays just because.
No, definitely no.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay, so if you had to be an animal, what would you be?
A rhino. That was easy. Come on, Ryan. That's my nickname.
Well, yeah, but like, do you want to be a rhinoceros?
Well, that's my name, Ryan. That was the nickname that I was given from my my middle school teacher.
Okay.
But shout out to Miss Mullen.
Thank you, Miss Mullen.
But she actually gave me that nickname before I even was. She was my teacher when I was in baseball. Ryan O. Ryan O is my name. Ryan O. So
I like
I'm
that.
Ryan O. But I'm also, people call me a night owl. So.
Okay,
I like
a little bit of both.
It's a little bit. It's kind of weird. So
like,
on my
it's a little
Instagram
trippy.
post, there's a little fun fact. I've never said this before. On every one of my Instagram posts, I have a tag at the very bottom. Every post is a this is super cool talking about. It's a green battery.
Yeah.
And then it's a rhino running into. It's the rhino emoji because I basically always say I'm like a charged rhino.
Wait, I love that. You really are. And I feel like you really brought the energy today. And I'm so glad that the minute you walk into a room, you light it up. So I think that's a really great quality. I think you should keep doing that. Ryan, we are at the point of the show where I ask each guest to give the audience something to write down. What is your write it down?
Oh, this is easy. Dream, wish, believe. It's my quote. It's almost not fair anymore, and people will kind of just assume that I'm going to say it. But that's my quote, dream, wish, believe. And I've always said those 3 words have changed my life. My mom and I kind of came up with it when I was going through a really tough time. And ever since I thought, kind of stuck to those 3 words, I felt like my personality, my mindset, my hunger, my career, everything just kind of started moving in the right direction for me.
Yeah.
And is when I really found my Ryanator family.
I love that. Dream, wish, believe. And I feel like they're in the perfect order because it really starts there where you dream big, you wish for it, you strive for it, and then you believe it really could happen.
DWB.
And I love that. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us in the Write It Down podcast.
Thank
Here
you
at
for
Cali
having
Strong,
me.
brought to you by FK&G Bourbon and Vodka. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. One crazy Rai out.
Thank you for listening to the Write It Down podcast. This podcast is a part of the 1513 network. You can catch a variety of shows on their website, 1513.com. If you enjoy listening to Write It Down, please subscribe, share with your friends, and if there's any ink left in your pen, write a review. For more content, follow the fun on Instagram by following at WIDPOD. That spells WIDPod. It's super cool. Stands for Write It Down Podcast, but it's abbreviated to WIDPod. Anyways, thanks for listening, and we will catch you later.